What if I told you there is a neighborhood in Maryland that is expected to jump in value by over 40% here in 2025?
Or if we told you that $300,000 buys you a 4-bedroom home only 10 minutes from Maryland's buzzing tech hub.
Today we're going over Maryland's top 10 neighborhoods that are up and coming here in 2025 that buyers are searching for, investors are snatching up, and sellers are being so thankful that they've established their roots in those areas.
Stay tuned to the end because we're going to deep dive into one of the latest development projects that's going to open up a ton of opportunity for savvy investors. Let's get into it.
I'm Mike Mislinski.
And I'm Kelly Shuett, and we love exploring all things in and around Baltimore real estate. And today we're talking about one of our favorite topics, which is how to find the little gems where your investment could explode over the next 5 years. We love helping people buy into these neighborhoods that are going to explode before the majority even knows what is happening. Let's get into it with our top 10 up and coming neighborhoods in and around Baltimore.
Here at number 10, and I actually love this one, and it is Middle River, Maryland. So this is located in Baltimore County, and it's one of the places in Baltimore County that you can actually get some waterfront living.
The median home price there is in the mid 200s for a single family home, which is pretty crazy. A lot of these neighborhoods are actually situated in waterfront areas or water privileged communities. Baltimore County waterfront has not been one of the more sought after waterfront areas, and therefore it's one of the final frontiers of waterfront area that's largely untapped in the Baltimore area, which is why it presents such an amazing opportunity.
Home values are up 18% from last year. And, we've talked about it before, but they're actually putting new builds in this area. So if you're looking for a new build and you only want a new build, Middle River could be that option.
There's a huge catalyst that's driving a lot of this growth, which is the $2 billion trade water project that's moving in and going to create about 100,000 jobs in the area. So if you get in there before this happens, you're going to be able to benefit from all of the development that follows. Commute time, 25 minutes downtown and about 50 minutes to DC. So you can get a lot of living for your money depending on where your commute is and how you want your lifestyle to look, especially if you're craving that waterfront lifestyle for less. Pro tip for buyers, hone in on the Wilson Point area. This has already experienced 5% growth, which is still pretty small, which means there's a ton of upside left. If you're interested in knowing which neighborhoods are the hot spots and which ones will give you the best bang for your buck, reach out to us. We're happy to explore those with you.
Next up, and we've talked about this before in some other videos, but is Edgewood, and that is in Harford County, right outside of Bel Air.
Median home price there is going to be $240,000, so you're in the mid 200s, and projected growth is between 17 to 20% by 2026. And the catalyst for that is a $1.5 billion expansion at Aberdeen Proving Ground. So if you are military or military adjacent, you know exactly what that means. If you're not, this is one of the largest bases in Maryland, which brings a lot of jobs and opportunities to the community, and they are expanding at a great rate.
Another key factor that's propelling Edgewood up the ranks is the STEM Magnet Program. The STEM Magnet Program is one of the more sought after programs, and it is rated a 9.2 out of 10. So you can expect a lot of people to be looking for that program here in the near future.
This is a neighborhood you may not have heard of before called Brooklyn Park, and it's actually outside of Annapolis in Anne Arundel County, and they're really revitalizing this area as an alternative to the extremely high home prices in Annapolis proper. So this is a great little area where you can still get a house in the mid to high 200s. So awesome entry level, and you still get access to all of the great things that Anne Arundel County has to offer, which we've highlighted in countless other videos. Something that's driving this growth is actually the light rail expansion. So the light rail is going to expand into Anne Arundel County and go directly to this neighborhood, which is going to give quick access back in and out of the city. It also is a great area where you're going to get a 7 out of 10 recreation score, which means you have a ton of access to those outdoor activities, including biking, trails, walking, and what everybody moves to Anne Arundel County for, which is waterfront access.
Our investors love this area because this is just south of all of the development happening in the Baltimore Peninsula. So as that continues to expand and populate, it's only going to help the Brooklyn Park area expand and grow.
Our investors are targeting pre-1970 ranchers that have a ton of upside and tend to sell for about 35% under market, which gives them a healthy margin to fix and flip these homes. So if you're an investor, great opportunity in this neighborhood. And if you're a buyer, you can expect to see some really beautiful flips that are coming as investors start to take over this area and revitalize it. This next one is a little controversial because it's been named an up-and-coming neighborhood since before Mike and I ever lived in and around the area. And this is Pigtown and Washington Village. It's in Baltimore City. It's very close to the stadiums. And in all honesty, they have spent years trying to revitalize this area. What we like about it is that it's extremely walkable, it has a community feel, and it is a very low price point compared to some of its bigger brothers and sisters like Canton, Fells, and Federal Hill. Let's dive into it.
It's really nice because you can get in around $180,000, which is substantially lower, as Kelly just said. But what is nice, this area is projected to grow to 25 to 45% just here this year in 2025.
And with that, there's not really an area to expand. These houses are already built in on block by block neighborhoods. So that means one thing, home values are going to go up.
And you may ask, like, well, what are they doing outside of just, revitalizing the homes? Well, you have the University of Maryland's new biopark, which is set up right there in Pigtown. So you can expect a lot of community feel, things hyped around everything relating to the biopark.
With Maryland's biotech sector growing a lot each year and projected to grow another 5% in the next 2 years, this neighborhood is positioned really well to have the people who are coming to the area for that biopark invest. Whether they're buying homes or they're renting from you, this is a neighborhood that is going to see a little facelift due to that demand. If you're a buyer or an investor, look close to Carroll Park. These are the houses and the blocks that have had the least amount of revitalization so far, and there's still a bigger opportunity there. They're gonna sell up to 28% less than their counterparts when you're further into the neighborhood. So if you're targeting in areas within this neighborhood that are even more up and coming, that's gonna be the section that you wanna be honed in on. We can help you kind of draw a map and figure out where that area is.
Number 6 on the list, and this is maybe some of you are gonna be like, well, what? This doesn't make any sense. But it's Towson. Towson actually, has gone through a bit of a renaissance. It's actually, may have peaked a few years ago, but now it's on the up and coming yet again.
They're installing luxury townhomes, luxury condos, and apartment style living. They're revitalizing the mall, and they're bringing in a lot of retail and restaurants that it didn't have a couple of years ago, which is drawing a lot of people in and making them look again at Towson. This once very popular neighborhood goes through ebbs and flows, and right now we think that we are about to head into a really nice upswing for the neighborhood. Median home prices are still in the 300s. You can get a lot of house for your money there, and the public schools always are ranked in the 9s and 10s out of 10s, as according to greaterschools.org. A lot of blue ribbons, a lot of magnet options. So that's definitely something to look into if public school is important to you and your family.
We've talked about, how Talson has been pretty much a staple for the Baltimore metro area. So if you're a seller and you've lived there for more than 5 years, your equity has gone through the roof. So if you're interested in selling in that area, you can expect to get top dollar.
Thinking about relocating to Baltimore? Well, I've got just the thing for you. My team and I have actually taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, which is meant to save you hours of research, and I've linked it all down below.
From top employers to best hospitals and a boatload of other things, all the stuff you'll need to know before making the move to in and around Baltimore. The best part, this guide is entirely free. Just click the link in the description at the top pinned comment. Hope this helps.
Number 5 is one of my personal favorites, which is Dundock. This part of Baltimore County that wraps the southeast side of Baltimore. If you have ever looked at a map of Baltimore City and Baltimore County, or if you live here, Baltimore County wraps the entire city. So we're talking about this section. A lot of waterfront opportunities, a lot of up and coming options, and a lot of investors diving in there because they know that they get a great return on these homes. People are moving to Dundock, especially if they live on that side of the city, like in Highlandtown or Canton. This is an easy move out into the county where you get a little bit more space and a little bit more home for your dollar. One thing we love about Dundock is it's so commutable back into the city. You really are 10 minutes from Canton and some other areas in the city. So if you love that nightlife or you like that lifestyle of being in the city, Dundock gives you that option of being in the county while still being very adjacent to the city. There's a ton of growth there, and that's because as people move out of the city and as they want these waterfront options, Dundock is one of the areas where you can really do that in an affordable fashion, with median home prices being in the low 200s. On average, we're selling houses in the 2s to 215s.
And if you like some of the lifestyle, we have some of our more famous restaurants down there, such as Jimmy's Seafood, and they're doing some new building there as well. So it's not just older homes that have been redone. There are some new builds popping up in the area.
We're going to pop up north to Hav Grace, which is a neighborhood we've talked about in length before. This is also going to put you close to the Aberdeen Proving Grounds, and it's going to have a great high-speed commuter ferry that's going to Baltimore that's going to be opening up in the next year. So that's going to add a lot of opportunities for people who are commuting back into the city to be able to live a little further out, because it is on average about an hour outside of Baltimore City. The other nice thing about this neighborhood is a lot of the area has access to Chesapeake Waterfront, which is a little different than some of the other waterfront opportunities we've talked about. And there's a nice little trail that goes along the entire waterfront, and it's dotted with restaurants and breweries and a lot of lifestyle activities. So if you are comfortable being a little further out and you're looking for something that's still very up and coming, this might be a great opportunity for you.
And if you might be downsizing from a different area, moving into the area, or you love golf, the Bully Rock area in Hav Grace is quite popular.
Moving back down into the city, we're talking about Hamilton and Laurville. This is another neighborhood that's been up and coming for quite some time, but we do feel like it's about to hit its prime, and here's why. What I like about Hamilton is it has an emerging restaurant scene that's drawing a lot of people to the neighborhood to dine, and then they're realizing, oh, I have this very adorable neighborhood with a cute main street and all these gorgeous houses. They have a kind of a craftsman bungalow style, and they're very affordable. So once people are in the neighborhood and experiencing it from a lifestyle perspective, they're deciding, hey, maybe I should buy in here. And you get a lot of bang for your buck there, with the median home price being $230,000 for a single family.
Next up, and we're gonna shift over to Howard County, and that area is called Elkridge. And this is basically on the Anne Arundel and Howard County border. One of the main draws to Elkridge is that it is essentially the cheapest way to get into Howard County, and you can expect all the jobs from either Fort Meade and all of the tech catalysts that are going in and around the area. So all the tech hubs that are popping up outside of BC, getting into Howard County in Elkridge is going to be a good bet.
People like the proximity to the MARC train, BWI. It's very easy to commute, even if you're commuting out of state. It really benefits from that IT sector, and it's about 30% less than you will find homes in Columbia. So a lot more house for your money, and a very commutable, easy, fast growing area.
And one of the good things about, kind of just living in the area, you're going to have access to all the Howard County recreation and parks. So Howard County has some of the best sports fields, parks, trails within the area, and if you're going to be in Elkridge, you're going to be really close to Troy Park.
Hey guys, it's Kelly. I'm here with Mike as well, and as much as I love making these videos, there's one thing I love even more, and that's helping families and people from all across the country make a move here to Baltimore. I moved here about 20 years ago, and I've never looked back. I love helping countless families make the move as well. So whether you're coming out next week, next month, or even next year, don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is right here on the screen, and I've linked the description in case you missed the on-screen pop-up. Look forward to helping you and your family make the move to Baltimore. Our number one neighborhood to watch is something that we've talked about a lot, which is Canton, specifically the Brewers Hill side of Canton, which is the north side of Canton before you hit Greektown or Highlandtown. Here's why.
So you know that we've talked about it countless times before, but Canton is the place in the city with the Target. And with Target comes a lot of redevelopment. So essentially, there has been a huge shift and a huge amount of money put into that area to develop all of the property that has just been sitting vacant for so long. So we're starting to see new grocery stores, new restaurants, new gyms, etc., as well as new housing popping up in the Canton, in the Brewers Hill area.
So while Canton itself is already very established, we're talking about the northeastern side of the neighborhood, where right now you're going to see a bunch of train tracks and industrial looking infrastructure. That's all being redeveloped right now. They're putting $1.5 billion into that restructuring of the area, and that's going to bring jobs, 5,000 jobs that you could walk to within 5 minutes. So if you're an investor, there's going to be a lot of people looking for rentals, and if you are somebody looking to purchase, now is the time to get in before that redevelopment starts, because you'll be on the early side of that.
So there you have it. Those are the top 10 areas that we expect a ton of growth here in 2025, and they all have a lot of similarities as to why they are expanding.
The data doesn't lie. With education, jobs, and tech coming to the area, these neighborhoods will soon see a ton of growth. So now is a great time to get in before that happens, and we can help guide you if any of these speak to you and sound like a great lifestyle that you're looking for.
Be sure to hit that notification bell, subscribe below. She's Kelly, I'm Mike, and we'll see you on the next video.